Hi everyone, this is Susie 老师. This is Miss Susie. I am feeling a little odd doing this video because it's in English and I'm talking to you parents out there. So this is not a fun, cute little video for your kids. This is a video for all of you out there who are trying to help your kids or your students learn Chinese. So those of you that I know or have contacted me, and I'm assuming all of you are the same. You speak some Chinese, no Chinese, or are completely fluent in Chinese, I don't know, but you're trying to help your kids become more fluent in Chinese and have the resources to continue learning, especially during their time at home. And that is super hard to do. Having my own kids and even being fluent in Chinese, I find it difficult to make sure they're getting enough exposure and quality exposure to Chinese. And so those of you who don't speak Chinese, this is going to be super helpful for you. And even if you are like me and you speak Chinese, this Luca that I'm going to tell you about, it's just awesome to have because it frees up some of your time and it's something fun for your kids to be exposed to literature in Chinese. So let me show you Luca. So this is Luca. He looks like an owl, but the little booklet that comes with him explains that he is actually a reading alien, you know, a storytelling alien, but he looks like an owl. Anyway, he is amazing. I'm not going to go into all the details of what each button does and how to press it and turn it to do all of his million features because there's tons of information about that on the JoJo Learning website, which I'll just start off by saying if you want to just skip the video and go straight to JoJo Learning's website, they have tons of information there as well. And they're incredible for having tons of videos for knowing how to use each functionality of Luca. And so that's why I'm not going to go into details of how to turn him on and link him with the app and play the games with him and make him sing songs and all of that. I just want to show you the most essential and I think incredible function of Luca, which is that he reads Chinese books. He turns on, his eyes light up, and this little part is a camera. And what you do is you set a Chinese book on the table in front of him, like this, and he'll go, bring, I'm going to read you the book now. And your child can open up the page, and Luca will read the story to them in Chinese.
夜晚来临了，两个玩累了的小伙伴依偎在一起，在点点星空下美美的睡着了。毛绒醒了，他的肚子咕咕咕叫个。
He makes a sound that lets you know when he's done turning the page, but your child can flip, you know, through the book at their own pace. It's not an audio recording, it's really by page turn. So your child will definitely be seeing the correct characters that he's reading, which is helpful for those of you who don't speak Chinese, maybe to know, like, are they even on the right page? You'll know that they're on the right page because Luca automatically reads the page that it's open to. And I mean, it sounds so simple. You put the book in front of him and he reads the book, but it's incredible because he reads over 30,000. This is the number that I've read, is he reads over 30,000 Chinese books. In my house, I have about 200 Chinese books and he can probably read about 150 of them. So he reads tons of Chinese books, and you can, if you're not a Chinese speaker, then this is a great way to get Chinese language into your home. Or maybe if you're not a confident Chinese speaker, or maybe you want to learn with your kids, which would be amazing. You should learn Chinese with your kids because that's going to be such a fantastic way for them to learn. So Luca's superpower is that he can read tons and tons and tons of Chinese books. If you have Chinese books at your house, you can just buy Luca and start trying him out with the books that you have. If you don't have any Chinese books in your house because you don't speak Chinese and so you don't feel like there would be a point in having them, then when you get Luca, you can go to JoJo Learning's Luca approved book section and specifically choose books knowing that Luca can read them to your kids. And hopefully, if you're at that stage where you are beginning to learn, your kids are beginning to learn, or they're really young, then you can learn Chinese together with your kids and Luca. Now I would like to share with you some book recommendations, particularly for those of you who have watched my videos. You probably have kids who these books will be perfect for, because I'm assuming that your kids are young, 2 through 6 years old. And even if you have older kids, again, I'll share some books that I think would be awesome for them. But to start, I wanted to share some that are great for toddlers and preschoolers and kids and parents who are just starting out learning Chinese. So the first set is this series of, I think it's called Baby Bear. It's a baby book series. It has 15 books with it, and it's super inexpensive for how many books you get, and it's a great place to start. It has simple text. My kids think a lot of the stories are super funny, and Luca can read all of them. So you're getting 15 books with simple, easy to follow along text. And even with 15 books, you can start with Luca and have your kids reading over and over and exposing them to simple scenarios such as going to bed or having a birthday and taking a bath, things that they do in their daily life, brushing their teeth. It's a super awesome place to start with language learning and with hearing Chinese read to them from books and from a native speaker with Luca, which is so awesome. I don't get to speak with a lot of native Chinese speakers because I live in America, and so I love reading books with my kids with Luca because I feel like it helps me remember the correct pronunciations and try to improve my Chinese after having been so long since I lived somewhere where everyone's speaking it. The next series I want to show you is this one. It's a mommy and baby animal book series that's 10 books. And I actually only have this one book, but the whole series is on my wish list because I'm loving this, and so are my kids, which is why I want more. It has repetitive text, and it has just one simple sentence, and you and your kids could easily follow along with books like this. And what kid doesn't love animals and footprints? And this whole series is about mom and baby animals, and this one is guessing footprints. So kids love books like this, and I love it when science is incorporated into books because that's the teacher in me. The next book series I want to show you is this one. It's in English, it's My First Discovery series. There's 2 series on the JoJo Learning website. Again, I only have this one of the preschool series, but I someday will order the whole series as well because I love the topics. So they're, again, just preschool topics that your kids are interested in, that they want to know about or need to know about anyway, like counting, numbers, colors, shapes, telling time, stuff like that. So these books, Luca can read them, and they have these fun, clear pages. And this one goes through each number, but you're not just hearing him count in Chinese. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you're hearing rich language, authentic language with the numbers. So they're getting those math learning skills, but they're getting the quality Chinese language, which is, I'm just loving it. So another book series that we love in English is Pete the Cat, and they have all his books in Chinese, and they're so fun, and Luca can read them in English and Chinese. And so if you just give him a double tap on the forehead, you're reading with Luca, you give him a double tap on the forehead, he'll read it in Chinese, or he'll switch and read it in English. So it's fun for my kids to hear it in both languages. When I'm reading with them, I always like to hear it in Chinese, but sometimes I'm busy doing something else and they just pull Luca out on their own, and they might listen to it in English just because they want to, or in Chinese. But it's so fun. We love Pete the Cat books too. So here's another thing. Many of the books, oh, I forgot to pull one of them out. I'll maybe grab that and show you. Another awesome thing is bilingual books. So I just bought this 7-book series from Todd Parr, and yeah, and sorry, I was like, did I say his name right? Yeah, Todd Parr. And it has the whole book in English and in Chinese. So of course Luca can read it in English and Chinese, but where the text is actually written out in English and Chinese, it's only $7 per book, but it's really like getting 2 books, because maybe if mom speaks Chinese and dad doesn't, mom can read the books in Chinese and dad can read the books in English. Or if neither of you speak Chinese, Luca can read the books in Chinese and you can still sit and enjoy the books with your kids in English. And it helps with comprehension, because then they're hearing it in English, and then when they hear it in Chinese, they understand it better. Oh, it's just so much good stuff. So yeah, so those are my basic recommendations for the younger age group. Now I'm going to share a couple of books for if they're a little bit older, maybe 6, 7, I'll explain. So my kids are really loving Peppa Pig books. We have, oh, that's what I was going to show you, but I won't show, I'll just tell you. I also have a board book series of Peppa Pig books that are written completely with the English text and the Chinese text. And so those are fun as well, because you can read them in English, Luca can read them in Chinese, and your kids increase comprehension. These ones only have the Chinese on the pages, but they actually do have the English in the back. So there's multiple different series of Peppa Pig books on JoJo Learning. I don't honestly remember which one this is, but I have one of the sets of Peppa Pig books, and my kids like them. I think they're pretty easy to understand. I think the context is, you know, things they probably have experienced, like having a, you know, going camping or going to a carnival, things like that. And yeah, they're just a little bit longer text. And so my 5-year-old enjoys them a lot more than my 2-year-old. And so like 5, 6, 7 might like these books better. And the other book, we just bought a Paw Patrol book series from JoJo Learning, because my daughter saw them on the website and asked me, please, can we get those? And so I thought, we'll give them a shot. And my kids have spent so much time reading with Luca and listening to Chinese, because they like Paw Patrol. And even my 2-year-old, even though the context, like my 2-year-old is not understanding everything that they're saying, he's still willing to listen to Luca read these books over and over and over, because he really likes Paw Patrol. So motivation is a huge thing, and I am confident that even though my 2-year-old isn't understanding all the words, he's still learning and gaining valuable experience, especially since he's listening to a native speaker read the book and hearing those valuable vocabulary words that are only in books. I love it so much. And then finally, I just want to share these 2 series as an option for if your kids are a little older, because I'm thinking more along the lines of my experience with 4th grade Chinese immersion. My students would have enjoyed, well, I really think my students would have enjoyed general, they still like picture books, but these are fun for a little bit older kids to not feel like they need to look at the baby books, because unfortunately, a lot of the time we spent, at least in my school, was using leveled readers, and so it was very like one-line simple text, and they didn't get to enjoy like a really rich story because they just didn't have the skills to read all the characters yet. And so Luca can read to them, and then they gain those skills. So here's 2 series. I think this one is a little easier than this one. This one, Bung Bung and Tiao Tiao, I read to my 5-year-old, and I was sure, because it's kind of long, I was sure she'd lose interest because her Chinese isn't like super fluent yet. But she listened to the whole book and really liked it, and I thought it was super cute too. So this series is fun, and it just has a little bit more text. And then this is a French series, and so I'm not going to try and say the name of it, but it's you'll see it on the JoJo website if you have an older kid. It's like the little chicken, the petit pollo. Okay, I said it. Anyway, I don't know. I can't remember how you say it or what, but it's the little chicken series, and it's been translated into Chinese. So again, the text is a little longer, and there's a lot of pages. It's quite a long, story. So older kids who have more experience with Chinese don't have to feel like they have to read these short little baby books or little leveled readers. There's tons of options. The point is, Luca is amazing because you don't have to know Chinese to get your children the exposure to quality Chinese literature. And you can, if you already do know Chinese, you don't have to spend all day reading books to them. You can still go make dinner and feed the baby and do the other things that you need to do. And your kids can sit and read books and there's no screen time. He has little computer eyes, but it's not like they're staring at his eyes the whole time. They're reading a book, an actual paper book, and not staring at a screen, a phone screen or an iPad screen to learn Chinese. They're experiencing real books, and I just think it's amazing, and I'm so grateful that I have one. So I hope that, you know, those of you who have the ability to get one and think it would benefit your family, just do it. Go for it and take the plunge and get Luca, because like I said, I just think Luca is an amazing resource, whether you know Chinese or don't know Chinese. If you want your kids to be exposed to quality language and literature, he's an amazing option. I'm assuming he's a boy because his name's Luca. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. I might not know everything, but I know JoJo Learning, the company who sells Luca, which they're the only company in America who sells Luca. So they know their stuff, and that's where you go if you want a Luca. Oh, I also forgot to mention that if you go to JoJo Learning and start looking at the books selection, all of their books ship free, completely free within the US, the continental US. So if you live in America, it's free shipping, which is so awesome. It's something to take into consideration because usually when you buy Chinese books, there's a hefty shipping fee. Anyway, so just throwing that out there. If you start thinking, oh, well, should I buy this? Can I afford this set? Or should I just get one set or two sets? There's no shipping to take into consideration. Anyway, please let me know if you have any other questions or if you have any suggestions for ways I can continue to support you and your kids. I'm doing my best that I can, especially while there's no preschool and we're all kind of still stuck at home. So I hope this video was helpful. This is one of the only videos where you can leave comments because YouTube doesn't allow comments on videos made for kids. So sometimes I feel like I have a hard time connecting with you as parents. So please feel free to leave me a comment or send me, find me on Instagram at Xiao Panda Preschool, or find me on Facebook at Xiao Panda Preschool so that you can communicate with me and let me know anything I can help you with, because I'd be truly happy to. I just want as many kids and families who have a desire to help their kids be bilingual to really be successful in doing so. So again, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you and your kids with another Chinese story time soon. Thanks. Bye.